lot of people, when they first start getting into working out, especially lifting with heavier weights like squats and deadlifts, compound movements, at some point they consider buying a lifting belt. And I'll agree, when I first started working out, I bought a lifting belt and a pair of deadlift straps from Dick's Sporting Goods. Now, granted, I don't have those anymore because they are from Dick's Sporting Goods, but I still utilize them from an early age. But there are people who will wonder, is the belt really a necessity? Do I need it in my workout program? And I know plenty of people who don't use a belt. So it really is a little bit of an opinion, but I'm going to break down a few questions just to give you some things to think about before going out and buying your first belt. The first question to address is, do you need a lifting belt? Is this a necessity? Absolutely not. I know plenty of people who can squat 400, 500, 600 plus pounds without a belt. They've just trained their core over the years and gotten it nice and tight to where the belt to them just isn't a necessity. They might still utilize it during competitions, but for the most part through the training, they train completely beltless. And the reason why is there are a lot of things in life and working out that are not needed. There are a lot of tools that are not needed, machines that are not needed, but they can make things easier, they can speed up progress, and they can make you feel a little more secure. Which kind of leads me into my second question, which is there a difference between lifting with a belt and without a belt? In my opinion, yes, but some people will say no. It depends a little bit, again, on who you talk to. The point of a lifting belt is to help kind of accentuate what we call the Valsalva maneuver. When you're about to squat, you would do what's called the Valsalva maneuver. You're basically tightening your entire core and strengthening it as if you were mentally preparing to get punched in the stomach. You would not let them punch you in the stomach with a weak, deflated core. No, you would tighten up and prepare for it. What you're doing is simultaneously tightening a lot of the abdominal muscles and muscles in your lower back, but also expanding and tightening your diaphragm internally, which allows you to have a more solid structure throughout. That way when you're squatting down and then back up, this is keeping your torso and your chest completely upright and helping to avoid injury. Now, adding a belt to that can help just give you a little more mental stability, I would say. Because you do not, and I repeat, you do not want to just put a belt on and push your gut into the belt. That's not what you're wanting to do. A lot of people will try and do that. You're still doing the exact same movement, the Valsalva maneuver, which you are tightening everything, but with the belt on, sometimes it can give you a more rigid structure. Rather than just your own flesh and blood, you do have an external piece that makes you feel a little more stable. And when it comes down to it, you want to feel very stable and secure before you go to do a lift. If you're going to squat 400 or 500 pounds, you don't want to go in worrying and feeling unsafe about your body. No, you want to go in feeling confident, knowing that you have a solid structure and you're going to do that lift as best as you can. If a belt is going to mentally help you do that, then I feel a belt is very important for that. You do not want to go into a squat with 400 pounds feeling very weak and unsecure around this area. So for that case, I will say a belt does help, but again, it depends on who you talk to. The last question that I want to address is, can a belt help you? And with that, I will say yes, 100%. It kind of goes into what I answered with my last question is, security and stability. But along with that, I'll say it like this. I don't feel that you should start off with a belt. Meaning that if you're just getting into weightlifting and your squat is 135 pounds, your deadlift is 135 pounds, you have no business really using a belt. Honestly, you don't. I don't care really what level you're at. You shouldn't be using a belt for those lower weights. Because if you use the belt so early on and you rely on it and you become dependent on having the belt, the moment you take it off, you're not going to know how to control your midsection in terms of the way that you need to if you had started completely without a belt. So I will say a belt definitely can help you, but I would wait until you get towards a heavier weight. Even right now, after my years of lifting and experience, I don't really put a belt on for squats until I'm squatting at least 315. Because up until that point, yes, the weight might start to feel heavier without a belt, but I still have the strength and core stability to keep myself upright to where this is not a necessity. Just like with deadlifting, I don't put this on until I get into the mid-3s, because up until that point, I still feel very secure lifting 100% raw. So I hope this video helped you out, just give you a few things to think about, especially if you're considering buying your very first belt. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. From here at Universal Strength Gym, train hard, and we'll see you next time.